What do you do about unpermitted space?
Yeah. So that's a hot little topic right now, and Chatham County gets into a worse situation in that regard because, unlike Wake and Orange County, we don't keep records for a long time. Unpermitted space that's older than 5 years old, we don't have records of. The county doesn't maintain records of. So when we go on a listing appointment, and it's pretty obvious, you see like a Florida room or a Carolina room, or if you see it looks like an attic space was converted or whatever, we ask them, was it permitted? They usually give us a blank look. Not every seller knows. They might have done it themselves, then they know. But they might have hired a company and they assume that the company did everything right with inspections. We can get into weird situations. It's drywalled. We don't know if the electrical's right. The county, if it's unpermitted, the county has a right to tear out the drywall and see if you did it right. So that can be very expensive. But when we get into these things that are a lot older, if it's performing its intended function and it's still doing well compared to the rest of the house, it might, whether or not it was permitted, might not be that huge of a deal, but it is a big deal to some buyers and some buyers' agents. I think it's probably more important to get an inspection and make sure that it was done correctly. If it's done in a workmanlike manner, it's probably not going to be a huge issue, but with the carry agents, one of the first things they ask is, are all the spaces permitted? There is a residential property disclosure statement, and the seller and the agent have to identify. If they know that there's known unpermitted space, it must be disclosed. Even if your seller doesn't disclose it, if the agent has suspicions, they have to disclose it. So, and we're of an opinion in this office that we over-disclose instead of under-disclose, and so the unpermitted space can be a big issue, but it's not something to cry over. You should look at the totality of what's going on. It might not be a big deal.